will be slightly less expensive to borrow money, whether that means you carry a credit card balance or maybe getting a new auto loan or a new small business loan. But savers will not be able to earn as much on those money markets, those high-yield savings accounts, and those short-term CDs.
The Fed indicated it will make 2 more cuts this year. Former CDC Director Susan Menares was questioned by lawmakers today about her firing by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. She says he wanted her to sign off on new vaccine recommendations, but didn't have the data to back them up.
Is there any precedent for a CDC director to be asked to pre-approve vaccine recommendations without ever having actually seen the recommendations themselves or the medical and scientific evidence backing them up?
I have never experienced that.
The CDC advisory panel is expected to release its recommendations this week. Some Western states have issued their own. California Governor Gavin Newsom.
The West Coast is taking action, grounded in evidence and safety and transparency, issuing new recommendations for our residents, starting with a vaccine schedule for the winter virus season.
FBI Director Kash Patel faced more heated questions today from lawmakers about releasing Epstein files. Senator Pramila Jayapal.
I would like to ask
the gentlelady's time has expired. I gave her the additional 45 seconds she requested. The gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for his 5 minutes. If you would meet
with the women who were sexually abused and raped and groomed at the ages of 14 and 16 years old, are you going to cover up?
Jim Krasula reports there's new scrutiny of federal immigration tactics.
U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement put more than 10,500 people in solitary confinement. That's according to a new study from Physicians for Human Rights. From February to May of this year, the number of individuals placed in solitary confinement by ICE increased by an average of nearly 7% per month.
King Charles welcomed President Trump to Windsor Castle for a state banquet.
This unique and important occasion reflects the enduring bond between our two great nations.
On the streets of London,
Donald Trump, you can't hide!
We genocide!
More than 50 protest groups marched to Parliament. Thousands of police officers were out. On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, is the state investigating the Pierce County Sheriff? We will hear from him after we go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
It's getting busy out there, Aaron. Let's see. North 5 and Marvin Road in Lacey, a collision was just moved out of your way to the left shoulder. So you're sitting in about a 1-mile backup right now, but that'll thin out. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 45 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It's heavy from the Duwamish Curve down to State Route 516. Southbound 405, thick from Northeast 8th and Bellevue through Factoria. You'll thin out from there, but it remains crowded past the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton up to a half hour. North 405, just past State Route 167. We've got a new crash sitting in the left general purpose lane. North 5 heavy from Albro into downtown. South 5 heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. Westbound 520 on the Portage Bay Viaduct. The crash is in your right lane. And Bellevue to Linwood is at 45 minutes. You got a solid backup between Totem Lake and Canyon Park from an earlier crash at 527, which just recently cleared. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Pierce County Sheriff says he has been asked to turn over records of his contact with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Keith Swank says the state's Attorney General made that request. He admits to meeting with ICE in April in Tacoma.
I actually wanted to see what the facility was, meet the director there, and chit-chat, and just have a, meet and greet, because we might end up having to go down there to handle protests or something like that.
Swank tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red he has not helped federal immigration agents, which is against the state law. No comment from AG Nick Brown. Meantime, state health inspectors say they are close to getting inside Tacoma's Immigrants Detention Center. They've been blocked for years, but the Washington State Standard reports a court ruling may finally give them access. They've received thousands of complaints, from water issues to overcrowding. A South Seattle man has now been ordered to undergo a mental evaluation after being arrested for a hate crime and assault. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
According to court documents, 55-year-old Buasaban Zaysanasong Cam assaulted his 69-year-old neighbor September 5th at the Rainier House Supportive Housing on Rainier Avenue South. Zaysanasong Cam allegedly used racial slurs and threatened to kill black and Chinese people. Here's Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
Which is really concerning for public safety, and hate crimes involving race and ethnicity are the most common type of hate crime that we see.
Zaysanasong Cam will undergo an inpatient evaluation, after which prosecutors will make a charging decision. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The Bear Gulch fire on the Olympic Peninsula is still growing. It is now burning on nearly 25 square miles, and it may be bigger than that.
We had an east wind event yesterday and into the evening, and that was the primary factor in driving fire behavior and growth last night.
Fire Information Officer Jared Lowe says the fire is only 9% contained. Fortunately, he says no structures are in the area where the fire is advancing. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nice day today. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Mostly sunny. Right now 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Senator Pramila Jayapal.
Hey, we don't do that here, all right? We don't make fun of people who have trouble with people's last names.
Pramila Jayapal.
Okay. That's not fair to do to Ursula.
Ursula? I love it when you try to go for it anyway, and then you just kind of mumble it like Aaron Granillo.
I have learned this technique where you pull away from the microphone.
John Curley.
First time he introduced me ever on the air was Adam Gorilla.
Diving into the news.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
The Tom and Curly days. Yeah.
I was doing this live show in Washington, D.C., and they'd hand me this stuff like right before I go on the air. Introduced person. And I would look down, like, I have no idea how to pronounce it. So I would have to be like, joining us from Cub Scout Troop 147 is Gary Belivino. And, of course, we also have... So forget it. The kid's like, huh? Is that my name? So you get in close, like this, and then so be like, and that, of course, is none other than Joe Moran coming at us. There you go.
And then I love when we practice it.
I know. Why must we bring that up? And I asked when I got tested for dyslexia when I was a senior high school, the guy's like, what particularly? So you have a phonics, explain to me a phonics deficiency that you can't see the words say. It gets lost in your head. Anyway, so I screw up everybody's last name. And I always say, Joe, just before the person comes on the air, I'll pull up this ear thing like, what's the last name? What's the last name? What's the last name? He tries to write out phonetically. Like, it's like grand piano, but it sounds like Hamanarno. I'm like, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. And I introduced the guys like Bill Grand Piano. All right, I already dove in, haven't I?
I don't think so.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. Oof, what a horrible day. Horrible day yesterday. Yikes. But this is some other news. Hang on, let's get some real news here. All right, I'll tell you about the horrible day I had yesterday, and I will make an apology to anybody that was out there on I-90. Plus, looking back today in history, we're going to try to combine like 3 or 4 of these. The Who, setting the stage on fire. Was that 1967? Okay, plus also the Mayflower. I was a big fan of the Mayflower. I love the whole, they're down there stuck in a little thing. Everybody's throwing up.
Oh.
Plus A.G. Bondi, Pam Bondi, steps in it again and then continues to step in. And then she not only steps in it, she reaches down to get whatever's on the bottom of her foot, off her foot, and then starts rolling around in it. What? And I didn't have much respect for her to begin with. I think she got the job. She's a very pretty woman. I think she got the job. But man, what a dumb thing to say, talking about hate speech, and they're going to go after you for hate speech. This is what we did. This is what the left does. What are you doing? Dumb move. There's no such thing as hate speech. Has she corrected any of this? I think she tried, right?
I don't think so.
Plus, also, did you read the text messages that apparently have been released by the FBI regarding the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk? Where are we on this? Joe, you are on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh, that's it, that's gospel.
Oh, they are fake.
Fakey, hakey. Fake.
They're not even good
by the way,
fake.
if you haven't read them yet, we'll get to them. But if you're anywhere, you YouTubers out there, text in the 3 words that you know no 22-year-old kid would ever write after assassinating somebody. I mean, how dumb do they think we are? 1-888-973-5476. Let's see. Linden School District establishing Charlie Kirk Day. That's good if they're doing that. And then, let's see, we'll move on to the next one. Aaron Granola is going to join us.
Adam Gorilla?
Yes. Yeah, everybody's so excited about the Mariners. We'll find out if it's not too late to jump on the bandwagon in order to cheer along. And then, let's see, other stuff as well. Oh, I went through the audit. Did you know that an audit was done for King County when they took, the total amount they took? I got it right here, everybody, if you want to read along.
Oh. You can highlighted section.
Yeah, I did, all of it. All of the money, right? $1.4 billion.
1.8, I think.
Don't correct me on that, Joe.
Just helping.
$1.5 billion by 2023, 2024. If this doesn't boil your blood, I don't know what will. Not that I'm trying to boil your blood, but this is nuts. These days like this, I wish Dory were alive every day. But on days like this, he would be like a dog on a bone. I mean, you couldn't get him away from this. I read through all of it. The Department of Community Human Resources Services needs to strengthen its financial stewardship. Yeah, that's what the King County need to strengthen. Wait till you hear where this money went, and and why they were just pouring these checks out. Thanks to a number of people that sent all that in. So we'll get to that. Plus, it's easier to get into an argument with an AI chatbot than it is with a human being. And people are okay being beaten by an AI chatbot than being beaten by a human being when it comes to debates, as we have demonstrated numerous times on the show here. And we might have to bring our AI gal back.
Oh, yes.
All right, here we go. I was thinking, amazing what you learn when you're under stress. Did you know that the drug, which you can purchase over the counter, 5-HTP, which is normally people will take it for serotonin. It's sold in 50 milligram. You can buy in 20 milligram. You can get it for about $6. And if you take it, it'll just help you balance stuff with stress, a little bit of energy and things like that. It's called 5-HTP. And normally people might take 1 capsule a day. 50 milligrams is what's recommended on the back. Did you know that if a dog consumes 128 milligrams, it is fatal? I found all of this out yesterday because when Nick called me at 11 o'clock to tell me about a number of things, then she also mentioned that the small bottle of 5-HTP was outside. And then she explained to me that she thinks that Twiggy got it and ate it. And she was going to go check and see how many were outside. She's going to try to find out how many she took. And while she was telling me this, I said, well, I looked it up on the phone as while I was talking to her, and I saw anything more than 128 is fatal. I said, Nick, get her to the vet right now. Well, we have a great vet, Cascade Animal Clinic there. It's for 50 years here in Cleveland. We get there ahead of the doctor, but we called ahead. Nick did. And the vet, I think his name is Dr. Brian. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name, but that's apparently the way it goes. He was on his way there. He got on the phone with the poison control for animals, and he was getting the information over the phone from them, and then asked Nicole, my wife, Nick, to get all of it as well and have it downloaded onto her phone and then printed out when he arrived at 12 o'clock because this doctor knew, although he had never dealt with this before, that this was fatal. So here is a 7-month-old dog that we got from Adams County, known as Twig, who's been now named Big Twig because she is 70 pounds and 7 months old, dying. So I come into work, and I'm on the phone with Nick asking about the vet and everything, and Joe turns to me and says, go home. Get out of here. I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to concentrate to do the show. He goes, go home. So I get in the car, and I'm trying to get some idea of what the situation is and is this progressing? Because here's what you know as you're reading about this stuff, as you are being told that your dog could possibly be dying, that serotonin, which is a human brain can take in and process correctly, the dog cannot. So the dog is unable to regulate serotonin, especially the amount that was in this vial. And here's what happens. First, convulsions, then the temperature of the body of the dog cannot be regulated. There is brain swelling. There is a heart attack, more convulsions. 4 or 5 of these massive grand mal seizures will lead to the death of the dog. While Nick was taking the dog, Twig, over, she had 1. That's 1. On the table there at the little animal clinic we have in Cleellum, they pump her stomach and then put charcoal in her and try to get all of that stuff out of there. And I tell Nick, go get Lily. She's upset. And so Nick drives that little back, and then I'm waiting. And the doctor says, we'll meet you out the back door. Just bring your car around and we'll carry Twiggy out. And as they carry her out in this orange, filthy blanket because she has just been I look at my doctor and I look him in the eye expecting like some reassurance, like, you know, she's going to be fine, or you just get her there. We have to drive her from Cleellum to Blue Pearl in Kirkland. And if you look it up, it's 1 hour and 33 minutes. And I said to the doctor, how long do I have? And he said, you have to get this dog there as fast as you can. She can't have any more seizures. I'll give you some medicine. It's a Valium. You need to squirt it into her nose immediately as soon as she goes into a grand mal seizure. So I have Nick in the back of the car, and there's Twig, and then Lily's all the way in the back, and we're just holding her in place, and I get out onto I-90. And this is where I want to apologize to anybody out on I-90 yesterday. I was the a-hole behind you, flashing my high beams, going at the top speed at one point at 120 miles an hour. And I'm, Nick, is she still breathing? Nick, is she still breathing? She's breathing. She is. And then all of a sudden, she's having a seizure. I said, Nick, put the Valium in her nose. Squirt that stuff in her nose. They're trying to shut that thing down because I don't want her to have a heart attack. And I'm still driving. I'm driving, and she's in the back, and Nick's crying. You're okay, Twig. You're going to be okay, Twig. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, Nick, we're 40 minutes out. We're just hold her. Just hold her. And with your other hand, call the hospital and tell her where we are. We're going to Blue Pearl. It's there in Kirkland. Just look it up. Just look it up on your phone. Tell them where we are. So they are completely calm, although you can hear their stress in the voice of the vets. They know that this is a serious, serious condition. Our vet has called this amazing organization, and we keep telling them, okay, we're 10 minutes out. We're 5 minutes out. We called when we're 1 minute out, and we arrive, and these angels, come crashing out the door with this little stretcher. I've never seen it before for a dog. And they scoop Twig, who is lifeless, out of the back. And her head is hanging down. Her eyes are closed. There's all of this stuff just coming out of every part of her. And they race her in there, and the doors close. It was like being in an emergency room for your kid. And we sat silently as we did the paperwork, and they asked this question, are you okay if we perform CPR on your dog? And I said, oh, absolutely. And then they said, now, another thing, this will probably cost anywhere between maybe $6,000 and $12,000. Do you still want us to proceed? And I said, thank God we are blessed. Yes, of course. And then for a second, I thought, imagine the number of people when they're asked that question that they don't have the finances. Do they go into debt? Do they borrow money? Do they make the god-awful decision that we don't have the money, we just have to let our dog die? I only gave that thought just a little bit of life, and then I sat there and waited and waited. And then one of the really nice doctors came out and said, we don't know how much she ingested, and what we're very concerned with is how much will get into her system. We're regulating, and they're going to try a procedure, and we will call you if there's either good news or bad news, but there's no reason for you to stay. And we were driving home, and I'm thinking, damn, here we adopt this silly dog, and, we're going to take care of you. You've hit the jackpot. You're living in this big farm. You've got this great life. And then this happens. And I kept thinking, okay, I'm praying, like, okay, whatever God's will is, all right, give me the strength to deal with this loss, because it's your fault. You're supposed to take care of these dogs, and then it's our fault that she gets into that. And it was just a terrible night, terrible, terrible night waiting. And then at 11 o'clock at night, a phone call from the doctor. And she said, Twiggy has survived, and we're going to continue to watch her. And I just want to let you know that we think we're past the darkest part of the ingestion of this 5-HTP. I hung up the phone, and Nick said, did she say she's all better? I said, no. The amazing thing about this particular vet, when she came into our room the first time, she didn't give us hope, but she didn't stop us from hoping. But she didn't say, I said, well, is she out of the woods? And she didn't answer that way. She said, your dog is very sick, and we're going to do everything we can to save her life. That was it, which I really appreciated. Because it wasn't if she's like, don't you worry, cut and dry. And one last part of the story, while we were waiting, filling out the paperwork, and then in the room waiting for the doctor to come tell us what's going to happen to our dog, we could hear outside through one of the other doors a woman coming in. I would assume from the sound of her voice, she was older, high-pitched, just heartbreaking screams that her dog had been poisoned. I told my husband not to put rat poison in the shop, and he did. Please save my dog. She's screaming, just filling this gigantic, wonderful hospital with these shrieks of pain. And we never found out what happened to that dog. But when the doctor called us at 11 o'clock, I said, well, why don't you go get some sleep? She says, it's been a really, really hard day. Well, I went there this morning, and they said, well, we have a visitor for you. I thought, oh, my God, it's another doctor to come in and tell me some more bad news. And they open the door, and there's Twig. Big Twig comes running in, jumps up on top of me. I was like, I hope that dog just said, put it on my bill. Yeah. So Nick's picking her up now to get her back home. Oh my God.
These dogs.
Oh, jeez. Oh my God. Oh, he's driving so fast. Thank God no cops have got in to hurt anybody. Oh.
Twigs.
Yeah.
All right. Happy she's okay.
Me too. Put that behind us. All right, here's Nate over there checking traffic. Nate.
All right, John Key of Everett has the update. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. You've jumped to 55 minutes. It's heavy from 405 to 516. You're kind of clear out in Auburn and then thick again south of Highway 18 into Sumner. Seattle to Federal Way is also spiked to 55 minutes. Heavy from MLK Junior Way all the way to 516. Northbound 405 just past the Valley Freeway. Still got a crash blocking your left general purpose lane. This has got you sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup start starting in South Center. South Center to Bellevue is at 25 minutes. We cleared our crash westbound 520 at the Portage Bay Viaduct. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 5 minutes, 50 minutes just to Linwood. It's solid from 520 all the way to 527 as we recover from an earlier collision at 527. That is cleared. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. You're crowded between the U District and Mount Lake Terrace. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'll tell you, I know what it's like. You're watching that hair begin to thin, and then the crown disappears. You just feel like, geez, hair loss is just robbing me of my identity. That's how I felt, before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair, and they could do the exact same thing for you. Because as you notice, it's starting to fade in the front or the back, wherever it is. You're like, okay, I'm going bald. If you're okay with that, that's fine. That's good. But if you don't like the fact that you're losing your hair and you want your own hair back, well, do the exact same thing I did. Set up a free consultation, $250 off, $250 free hair graft at 425-449-8185. You don't want to wait. You see, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. They're doing it right over there at Advanced Hair. So give them a call, set up a consultation, get your hair back. 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join us tomorrow morning.
In my 7:35 commentary, you and every member of your family could be on the hook for $55,000 each for Sound Transit. Is it worth it?
Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
And hopefully we'll be talking about win number 11 in a row for the Mariners and get you ready for the storm.
5 to 9 on Seattle's morning news.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker at 97.3 FM.
From the roof to the deck, the siding to the gutters, and energy-efficient windows, State Roofing and Exteriors is your one-stop shop for home protection. With over 55 years serving Western Washington, we don't just work here, we live here. We know what your home is up against when the cold sets in and the rain starts falling. Right now, we're making it easier than ever to get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Has it been hot in your house this summer? Maybe worried about the cold coming in this fall and into the winter? Might be because your insulation's just not up to snuff. That was my problem, Mike Salk, and that's why I called Crawl Pros. They came out, they did a corner-to-corner inspection of my crawl space and attic, and they fixed that problem once and for all. If your home has any damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, you're bleeding money every month to heat and cool your home, but you don't have to. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%, but you got to act now. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of this year, including the federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and properly insulate your home before the cooler fall weather comes in. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. As the cold and flu season fast approaches, Washington and other western states have rolled out their own vaccine recommendations. CBS medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder explains.
Each state can do their own thing. And what we are seeing now is this West Coast Health Alliance of Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. And they have decided to focus on medical professional societies in deciding what their recommendations are going to be.
Those western states now recommending anyone who wants a COVID shot, including children, should be able to get one. The latest federal guidance scales back COVID shots for healthy kids and adults. The Federal Reserve cuts its key interest rates by 1/4 point today. Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
I think we were right to wait and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved.
The cut reduces the benchmark rates to between 4 and 4.25%. More from CBS's Joe Ling Kent.
It's welcome news for people who are looking to borrow money, whether it's for a mortgage, a car loan, your credit card debt, and on down the line. We also did get an indication that there may be 2 more interest rate cuts this year and then 1 coming in 2026.
Amazon announces it is investing more than $1 billion to raise wages and cut healthcare costs for employees. Average pay for warehouse and transportation workers is rising to more than $23 an hour. And starting next year, basic health plans will drop to $5 a week with lower copays. New analysis finds Washington is the 3rd best state in the nation to be a teacher.
Walletub compared 50 states and the District of Columbia on several key metrics.
Compensation is the big thing.
Analyst Chip Lupo says Washington saw a more than 75% change in teacher salaries in the past 10 years, and adjusted for inflation, the state has the 2nd highest average annual salary at nearly $80,000. Washington has the 4th highest average starting salary at more than $50,000, and tenure for Washington teachers starts at 3 years.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33 with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Renton of Puyallup on the Valley Freeway pushing an hour this afternoon at 55 minutes. It's also 55 minutes from Seattle to Federal Way. You've got heavy volumes from MLK Junior Way all the way to State Route 516. We just cleared our collision north 405 just past State Route 167 there on the Renton S-curves. You're back up, though, bumper to I-5 in South Center. South Center to Bellevue's at 25 minutes. South 405, thick from 520 through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton's at a half hour. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. 45 minutes just to Linwood, and it is solid from 520 to 527 in Canyon Park. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. You're crowded from the U District into Linwood. Everett to Marysville, looking pretty good at just 20 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cleared tonight. We'll see some more sunshine tomorrow. And again on Friday. Highs in the low to mid-70s. Right now, 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Comfort Alliance.
That's right. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, I can only think of one place. Nope, just one. HomeComfortAlliance.com. You can always write to us. Do love hearing from you. And those of you that have been going through the alleged text messages from the assassin of Charlie Kirk. Wow. We're skeptical, put it that way. But if you happen to see one, there are two things in there that doesn't quite make sense. 1-888-973-5476. And for the guy that wrote in the other day, presidents are assassinated. Yeah, but, you can look at other people that have been assassinated that were not political elected officials. Martin Luther King would probably come to mind. Check that one there. So, all right, let's see. Day in history. Lots here. The Mayflower departs England, actually Holland.
Oh,
no. Oh, they left from Holland originally. They went on one and it started leaking, and they turned around and came back. I think that was Holland. It wasn't England. Who wrote that?
Plymouth, England.
No, Holland.
Well, it was Plymouth, England. Is where
Okay, you know what? We just stop the show. We just go at it right now. Just start throwing down. Holland. Look up Holland. Moving on. Music, please. Gee whiz. The U.S. Constitution was signed in 1787. 1845, suspected Christian spy is murdered by LDS. I don't even know about that one. The United States imposes the draft. Yep. 1967, The Who literally sparks an explosion on national television. Billy Carter gets his own beer. That's President Carter's brother. Camp David Accords are signed. Oprah launches the book club. Let's do a bunch of them. Cool. How about this one right here? Here's the what used to happen. The Keith Moon, he liked to pack a lot of explosives into his bass drum. and Pete Townsend, he smashed the guitar. Yeah. Was it Townsend who smashed the guitar? I think so.
Oliver.
Oh, yeah, they smashed it. So Keith Moon's like, I'm just going to put a lot of explosives in my bass drum. So he put even more than he normally puts in. And they're on the Smothers Brothers show, which is like a completely uptight show, the two brothers with the stupid guitar and everything. So it's September 16th, on this very day, back in 1967, they end the performance and smashing guitar, and then more drums. Here it comes. It is.
The explosion caused a momentary breakdown in transmission across America.
Wow.
Pete Townsend claimed he was left permanently deaf in one ear, and a flying symbol sliced into Moon's arm.
Yeah. Pete Townsend's hair was also singed. Moon got the shrapnel hit him, and just generally a huge amount of smoke as well. So even when it was knocked off the air, when they came back on, there was all this smoke everywhere.
Yeah, and the Smothers Brothers, I don't know which one was which, but they seem to have fun with it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have a good time? Yeah. Hey, Dave, we're doing a threeser here. How about this? The TikTok breakdown, the commercial. Billy Bob beer is a big deal. I think there were commercials about it.
This is a can of Billy beer. It is the very short-lived beer that was produced by Billy Carter, Jimmy Carter's brother, who was considered kind of a screw-up. If you look at the facts, though, Billy Carter was actually pretty competent. He ran the Carter family farm, then he owned a gas station, but...
Oh. Let's elect him president.
He was also known as a very heavy drinker. And then he became the spokesperson for Billy Beer.
Yeah.
Now, this was kind of a white label thing. Basically, this one brewery bet their entire reputation that getting Billy Carter to be the face of their beer would make it a huge hit. And initially, they were kind of right. Brewed expressly for and with the personal approval of one of America's all-time great beer drinkers, Billy Carter. The beer ended up flopping, but I do think it is oddly prescient in the way that it predicted influence.
Why am I playing this? This guy's doing my job.
It's a good question.
He's talking about it. Okay, then
Let's talk about the beer for a couple of seconds.
What do you think of the light beers? You know, the various beers that are coming out in the lower in calories. Do they appeal to you?
No, I'll drink them when I can't get anything else, but I prefer other kinds.
All right, what about the foreign beers? Some of the, the German beers and so forth.
I'll drink foreign beers at some bars where they don't serve, they're too high class to serve American beer. That's the only time I'll ever drink it.
So you're basically an American.
Oh my God. Where is Keith Moon's explosions when you need it? And then, okay, did you look it up? Because I thought they left Holland. The Puritans leave Holland. They're sailing on the Mayflower. They had 2 ships, and they were ready to go, but then one of them was sort of just leaking and everything. So they took the entire crew and put them into the Mayflower.
That was 10 years prior to the Mayflower leaving England. 10 years earlier, English persecution had led a group of separatists to flee Holland in search of religious freedom. However, many were dissatisfied with economic opportunities in the Netherlands under the direction of William Bradford and decided to immigrate to Virginia.
Right.
10 years later. But the Mayflower left Plymouth, England on this day in,
Okay, all right. Then you know what? Screw you. Okay?
Okay.
On this day, Joe calls John out on all the facts that he wrote down on 3 pieces of paper regarding the Mayflower.
I thought we were doing the...
I just jumped on the Mayflower when I saw it. I didn't care to see what the date was. I like the fact there was one baby born on board, and its name was Oceanus.
Ooh.
And the sailors, there were sailors and the Puritans were on there, and the sailors hated them. And the Puritans, the Pilgrims, called them the strangers. And at one point, this one sailor goes, I got an idea. Throw them all overboard. And then 2 days later, he died. And then they're like, act of God, right there. The guy that told us to be thrown over, dead. So they all, they survived. No one died on board, but man, it was nasty. One last little bit of useless information for you in case it ever comes up on the test. You ready?
Yep.
102. Okay, total size they had underneath, 48 by 28. It's pretty small. And a 100-foot boat with 5 feet of headroom. And they're down there just vomiting and pooping and something like twig last night, yesterday. Yeah, all that stuff. All right, let's go to Nate. Let's go back to the...
I thought we were doing Camp David Accord.
God. Let's get the rest of the show on board.
Okay.
Andrew, this is all up to you. Let's go to Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan.
Yepper, Shoreline got a new collision. It's on 1st Avenue Northeast at North 130th. It's blocking all eastbound lanes and one westbound lane. You'll probably want to seek an alternate route if you can. Southbound 99 in Seattle at Spokane Street Viaduct. The crash has traffic stacked up inside the downtown tunnel. South 5 heavy from Northgate to 90. North 5 here packed from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Our lake bridges are doing okay. Bellevue to Everett still right around an hour. It's 45 minutes to Linwood, and you're solid from Kirkland in through Canyon Park as we recovered from an earlier crash at 527. That cleared about 40 minutes ago. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. Still crowded from the U District into Linwood, and outside of that, we are getting busy across the map out there. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, you heard the big news, didn't you? Mortgage rates dropping to the low for the first time in 3 years. We're at 6.13%. You know what's about to happen? The dam's about to break. That's right. The bottleneck is about to break, and that means here come the buyers, here come the sellers. Now, Mike Novak is the guy to call because if you want to get your house sold, this guy will do it for you. In fact, Mike is so confident that he can sell your house. He says, I'll sell your house in 21 days or he won't charge you a commission. The Novak team knows exactly what they're doing. In fact, Mike Novak sells a house, one house every day. Can you think of other realtors that are able to do that? He does it because he simply markets the heck out of that house of yours. He spends so much time and so much money. In fact, he spends 70 times more than the average agent when it comes to marketing because you got to market that house. So here come the buyers and here come the sellers. So let's make sure that you've got Mike Novak on your team to get your house sold because mortgage rates have dropped. First time they've been down here in 3 years. You want to make sure Mike Novak is selling your house. Go to online, go meetthenovaks.com. That's Meet the Novaks, Novaks, Novaks. You got it? Novaks, meetthenovaks.com.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So I saw that you visited the baby chicks.
I got to hold 7 of them. They were so cute.
Do you know why Wilcox chickens are so happy?
Because they get to play outside?
Yes.
Happy chickens are healthy chickens.
From our farm to your table, Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing. When it's time to get that roof replaced, choose Guardian with our expert insured team and our Guardian Guarantee. Call now and get 1 year of maintenance free with the installation of a new roof, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Passing of Robert Redford. So 2 days ago?
Yes.
You know, there's a great story. Robert Redford was supposed to, really wanted to play the graduate in the movie The Graduate. Dustin Hoffman got the role. And there's a fun little back and forth. I forget who the director was, maybe the writer, said, listen, you can't play a loser. There's no way you could play a loser. And Robert Redford said, what do you mean? Why can't I play a loser? And he says, because have you ever struck out with a girl? And Robert Redford said, what do you mean? So it's like, look,
what does that mean?
Let Dustin Hoffman play it. Besides, Robert Redford, I think, was at that time was doing Barefoot in the Park, so he had some scheduling problems. But Dustin Hoffman, the amazing portrayal of Benjamin. So I was in Park City one day to do an auction, and I needed a place to change. And they said, oh, you can have a little box lunch. And I opened up a little box lunch, and there were some crackers in there, and a cookie in there, and a tuna fish sandwich. And I said, where can I? Where is there a certain place I can go and get changed and just have lunch? Yeah, down the hall. There's the second door. You can go in there. So I open the door. I go in, and I go in. There's a little table sitting there, and I put my box lunch down. I put my tuxedo down, and then I happen to look over to the right, and there's the guy asleep on the couch, all curled up, no blanket. You can tell he's kind of got sort of cold, so he's all crushed up. And he's laying there, and he's snoring just a little bit. I didn't want to disturb him, so I'm quietly, like, opening up my tuna fish sandwich. And I reach over, and I go to open the cookies. And I was like, and he, oh, yeah. This guy looks up. He's, I'm sorry, are you in here? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. Okay. What time is it? I said, it's like 1:15. Okay, well, I'm glad you came and wake me up. I realized it's Robert Redford. It looks pretty bad.
Ooh.
I didn't want to say, hey, you're Robert Redford. I caught you napping like an old man on the couch. You know, you say that all the time.
Oh, sure.
And then I said, I didn't mean to disturb you. It's okay. And he sort of sits up. And what are you doing here? I said, I'm going to be the auctioneer. Oh, okay. He's getting his wits about him waking up. I said, I'm not going to hold you personally responsible for this, but you ruined my senior year of high school prom. I did? I said, yeah, because let me tell you, my mom thought you were the sexiest man in the world, and she insisted that I wear the same tuxedo you wore in the Sting. It was my junior year. Same tuxedo you wore in the Sting, and she even made me comb my hair the same way like you. And your little tuck shirt had the little wings that came up. And my mom thought that was so sexy. She kept saying, oh, you look just like Robert Redford. Just like Robert Redford. And I was like, really? Really? With the little wing things? I don't know, Mom. I don't know. No. Oh, Robert Redford was so handsome in The Sting. You look just like him. Just comb your hair a little differently. I'm like, really? This is going to work? She's like, oh, yeah. Just part it a little differently. So I parted it differently, and she's like, oh, you look just like Robert Redford. As if Robert Redford in The Sting also had like giant oozing whiteheads and pimples all over his nose. I said, anyway, he goes, how'd it go? I said, not good. Didn't get many dances, and everybody made fun of my weird collar. And I kept going, I'm Robert Redford from The Sting. And they're like, it's not a Halloween party, it's a prom. Oh, well. Moms. Oh, my God. I got home. I'm like, Mom, it's so stupid. I look stupid. But it was nice to finally turn the, kind of dump on Robert Redford.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. This is my run-in with him.
Now you know.
the rest of the story. And I talked to him about some of the different scenes that he shot, some of his favorite scenes from Condor. Oh, he'd love that movie. You ever seen that movie?
No.
Is it 3 Days of the Condor?
Don't know.
Isn't that what it is, Andrew? Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you, Nate.
Isn't it crazy how there's nothing louder than a bag of cookies when you're trying to be quiet?
Trying not to wake up Robert Redford. And I was just, how do you slow? And I bit into it, but you can't. And I stayed away from the chips for that reason. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, John. Holler Lake, we've got a collision on 1st Avenue Northeast at the intersection of North 130th, and it's blocking all eastbound lanes, one westbound lane. And this is near Ingram High School, if you're familiar with the area. Southbound 99 through Seattle, jam-packed from inside the downtown tunnel to the West Seattle Bridge, where it looks like we might have just cleared that earlier collision. South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, pushing 40 minutes. North 5 is packed from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 5. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're holding steady at 55 minutes. We're pretty solid down the entire stretch now. And through JBLM, South 5 at the main gate, a collision blocks that off-ramp. No estimated time to reopen. This is our second closure of that off-ramp this afternoon. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'll bet if you're in the car right now and you take care of that car of yours, which you probably do that as well, you probably have one of those little weird plastic stickers that's in the left-hand corner of the windshield telling you that you need to get your oil changed. And you might have noticed it. Don't look at it now. It may be too small to read. It might say, 1,000 miles from now, or they give you the month or whatever. And I'll bet you anything you get that oil changed. Why? Because if you don't take care of the car's going to break down. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You don't have a little sticker anywhere on your body telling you, hey, you should probably have this checked or that checked. That's where Longevity Medical Clinic comes in. They're not going to put a little sticker on you, but what they will do is they will do an extensive test after a blood test, and they'll look for all early indicators of some terrible diseases that you aren't even aware that could possibly start in your body, like heart disease and diabetes and cancer. They're proactive. They've been doing this for 25 years. They're following the latest science to extend your life. If you want to take care of the car, why not take care of your body as well? You want to find out more? Free health analysis waiting for you right there at longevityMedicalClinic.com.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. I'm here with good news. Guardian has flexible financing options. With Guardian's acclaimed services, you can upgrade or repair your roof, gutters, and insulation. Call to hear about our flexible financing options or visit GuardianRoofing.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone is seeing is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Summer is the perfect time for a new roof. Take advantage of our easy financing, summer specials, and the best warranty in the business. Have a great summer. See you next hockey season. Trust Techline.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Multiple police officers killed in Pennsylvania.
This is an absolutely tragic and devastating day.
The Fed cuts its key rate.
Job gains have slowed and downside risks to employment have risen.
Warning from the former CDC director.
I believe preventable diseases will return.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 3 police officers have been killed and 2 critically injured in a shooting in York County, Pennsylvania.
The shooting happened as officers were serving a warrant in North Codorus Township near the Pennsylvania-Maryland line.
There were 5 law enforcement officers who were shot today. 3 fatally, 2 that were transported here in critical but stable condition.
Pennsylvania State Police Colonel Christopher Paris says the shooter is dead.
There is no current active threat.
Governor Josh Shapiro.
This kind of violence isn't okay. We need to do better as a society. We need to help the people who think that picking up a gun, picking up a weapon is the answer.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
The Utah man charged with shooting to death conservative activist Charlie Kirk 1 week ago today did not want to be shot by police. Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby says Robinson agreed to surrender with his parents by his side as long as it was done peacefully.
He knew he was going to get caught. He didn't want a big SWAT team hitting his parents' house or his apartment. He was truly fearful of being shot by law enforcement. So that the conditions were as relaxed and comfortable and almost to the point of, inviting.
Students at Utah Valley University, where Kirk was fatally shot, returned to classes today. And Disney's ABC says it's pulling Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely after comments about Charlie Kirk. For the first time this year, the Federal Reserve cuts its key rate by a 0.25 percentage point and signals more possible cuts. President Trump has been pushing Fed Chair Jerome Powell to do this sooner. Powell saying,
I think we were right to wait and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved.
CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The data recently have shown that the labor market is slowing down. That appears to be a bigger risk in the eyes of the Federal Reserve than the tariff-induced rise in the inflation rate.
Ousted CDC Director Susan Menares testifies on Capitol Hill that she was fired over a vaccine-related dispute with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And
I was directed to only work with the political appointees that he had put in place at CDC and not to speak or work with career scientists.
On September 4th, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. told Capitol Hill lawmakers that he told Menares she had to resign because, in his words, he asked her, "Are you a trustworthy person?" And she said no. Stocks closed mixed on Wall Street. Now this.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today. Coming up is the Pierce County Sheriff under a state investigation. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
It is busy out there, Aaron. This report brought to us by Seattle Sports. Let's update you with our collision at Holler Lake, a collision on 1st Avenue Northeast and North 130th, blocking all eastbound lanes, 1 westbound lane. You'll obviously want to choose alternate routes this afternoon. This is near Ingram High School, again, if you're familiar with the area. Here in Seattle, southbound 99, our backup continues to grow. You're slow from the Aurora Bridge all the way to the West Seattle Bridge due to a collision at the West Seattle Bridge. South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle pushing 40 minutes. North 5 is bumper to bumper from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Bellevue to Everett still an hour 5 minutes. We're up to 50 minutes of Linwood, and it's getting thicker between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Seattle to Everett still at 45 minutes. Bellevue to Renton a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway at 55 minutes. And through JBLM, that off-ramp from South 5 to the main gate is back open. In fact, Tacoma to Olympia otherwise is looking pretty good, taking 45 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank may be under a state investigation for contact he's had with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi takes a look.
Swank tells the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM that Washington Attorney General Nick Brown requested records related to any contact Swank has had with ICE.
I think they're looking for a way to come after me. They're hoping I did something so they can say I violated the Keep Washington Working Act,
which prohibits local law enforcement from helping the feds enforce immigration policies, which Swank says he has not. In April, though, he says he did have a meet and greet with the ICE Seattle Field Office Director at the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Search is over for a homicide suspect in Bellevue. Police had been looking for 28-year-old Samuel Hitchcock since July 30th. He's accused of killing a 54-year-old man in the Eastgate neighborhood. Bellevue Police Captain Landon Barnwell says tips led them to the Portland area.
So we worked with the Portland Police Bureau and the U.S. Marshal's Office, and yesterday evening they were able to take that suspect into custody for us.
This is Bellevue's first homicide of the year. A dramatic scene on Seattle's University Bridge today when a car jumped the bridge while being chased by police. Traffic cameras showed the driver hitting the crossing gate before hopping the drawbridge while it was still closing. Police did not chase. We are working to find out if they ever caught up with that driver. As the Mariners look to make it 11 wins in a row tonight, Cal Raleigh's on the cusp of setting a franchise record for most home runs in a season. He hit 2 last night, tying Ken Griffey Jr. with his 56th homer after passing Mickey Mantle for most home runs by a switch hitter.
I don't really have words for it. I don't really know what to say. I'm sure one day it'll kind of set in, but for now, just keep it going. So
he was speaking with the MLB Network. Raleigh goes for 57 tonight in Kansas City. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Nice nights, mostly clear skies, more sunshine tomorrow with highs back in the low to mid 70s. Right now we're up to 77 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger public opinion.
He didn't have to say the letter or the number 4 at any time, did he?
No.
It's Kennedy. Wow, look at you leading into the show with that, huh? Did Joe give you that? Doing that on your own?
No, that's on my own free will.
Okay.
My own free speech.
Yeah, it's free speech,
nice.
Yeah. Nicely done. Hey, here you go, everybody. Where are you?
Uh-oh.
Hi, Teeny. Throw this at him.
We got to bring you
these
a
are the
blank
notes.
stack.
These are the notes from the Mayflower that I wasn't able to use.
I'm worried that you're
all
going
right,
to throw away
you
notes
YouTubers.
you need.
It's happened a couple times. on 888-973-5476. I want to be the first Irish Catholic American president.
Hey, right.
Right. All right. Yeah, First Amendment, basically, it's that the government can't infringe on your right to speak. That's it. The government can't say that. They can't do compelled speech. You must write that book. You must bake that cake. You must do this. You must do that. No compelled speech. Big one. First one. It's not to protect newspapers, not to protect media. It's just simply the common man should be able to speak against the government, whatever he or she wants to say. Now, in the private, your boss can go to you and go, hey, I don't like you saying that. You're not allowed to say that. That's your boss. That's between your boss and you, right? You're not protected because your boss says, hey, if you say that again, you're done. You're fired. You're out of here. It's not your First Amendment right. It doesn't extend between you and a private citizen. It's the government cannot stop you from saying things. Town square, say what you want to say. Go ahead. You want to be a Nazi? You want to march down the street? Go ahead. You want to be an Antifa person? You want to march down the street? Go ahead. Just, make sure you're home in your mom's basement by at least 1 o'clock. So the important thing is understanding the First Amendment. That's it. Oh, by the way, one other quick thing. A little gong on this one or some sort of explosion make it seem more important than it is. But it is important. Andrew, anything in there? About to make a big point. Big point. Anything you got? Just that's good. There is no such thing. It is not recognized in any court. It is not. There is no such thing as hate speech. Nothing. Now, you can say things that are hateful. Go ahead. Try taking it to court. He said something that was hateful and it hurt my feelings. Go cry to your mom. There's no such thing as hate speech. They have it in the UK. They have it in Canada. They have it in other countries. Some countries, you say something against Muhammad, cut your head off. Hate speech. We don't have hate speech here. We don't. We never have it, never will. God forbid it ever comes from anywhere. Pam Bondi, who I was surprised she got this job. Not really. If you look at her, you think, okay, fine. But she's not the stuff she did in Florida, not very bright. But anyway, she's on with Katie Miller. Oh, is this what you call it? Is that Miller's wife? Stephen Miller's, Stephen Miller's wife. I
didn't know that.
Oh my God. Listen to this exchange.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is
no such thing as hate speech. Just letting you know.
There's no place, especially now.
Go ahead, Vic.
And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
Oh my God.
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
No. Oh my God, did you read that from the far left handbook? I mean, that's exactly what people have been trying to do. Get the government in there, censor people, stop people, put them in jail, domestic terrorists. What are you saying at a school board? Oh, my God. Then later on, she goes on Fox to try to clean it up.
And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon.
Wait. What? You get prosecuted for that?
You have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately, that Office Depot had done that. We're looking at that.
Oh.
What happened to the cake?
So does anybody know what happened? This guy goes in there and he wants to get a poster. They're doing a memorial for Charlie Kirk, and it has his name and it has the date of his birth and day of his death. And they've got a picture of him. And they went to Office Depot and they said, hey, they dropped it off there to get it made. And he went in, he videotaped it, and they said, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not allowed to print propaganda. So then somebody, I don't know, some other place said, oh, we'll print it for you. It made a big deal. And then I think Office Depot sent out something like, oh, we don't blah, blah, whatever, protect the employees, whatever. But that's we're going to go after you for that? What, does Trump jump in on this?
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, a lot of your allies.
Careful, Trump, careful. You don't want to sound like.
Say hate speech is free speech. We'd probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you. Look, we want everything to be fair. It hasn't been fair. And the radical left has done tremendous damage to the country. But we're fixing it. We have right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. And remember, 1 year ago, our country was dead. And I fixed it.
Okay. All right. Well, 5 seconds. All right. Here's an example of it. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Must have been yesterday. So Jimmy Kimmel's on his show. He's an alleged comedian. He says
the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Okay. And then what happened? Just came up on the news just now. Jimmy Kimmel pulled off after suggesting Kirk's suspect was MAGA. So he has been taken off his show indefinitely. And I'm sure, they're doing the CBS media analyst. Oh, good. Brian Stelter is saying, I'm assuming ABC is so afraid of Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a fascist and a Nazi. They're so afraid of him that he'll come after them that they don't want to get sued. And then just guessing, they don't want to get sued again. So they're so afraid they've silenced Jimmy Kimmel. Well, maybe they looked at it like, do we want our host saying stuff like this that obviously isn't true? Certainly the corporations across America have realized the reason Donald Trump won so decisively, his opponent was not up to the job. But also people are like, hey, we're tired of, being told this and told that. So that's our guy and we'll put him in there. Yes, Joe, you have a quick
Well,
question?
I think the one thing about the Kimmel situation that is kind of dicey is that the head of the FCC is on record saying, oh, well, he needs to be fired or suspended or we're going to consider taking their license.
Oh, God.
Which that goes from like your employee.
The FCC takes the license away from ABC because they don't like the political stuff that they're saying. Oh, that's, crap. That wouldn't go anywhere.
Right.
But that's the threat. Who knows why they took him off? But people are now going to be chomping away on the meat of that bone. He went on to call J.D. Vance's claims about violence and left it BS.
Many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yesterday, J.D. Vance, who himself famously called Donald Trump America's Hitler, hosted the Charlie Kirk podcast from the White House, where he pointed his little mascara-stained finger directly at the left.
While our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Right. And by statistical fact, he means complete bullshit.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so he's off indefinitely, and then they'll make an announcement. But that news just broke about a couple minutes ago, so Joe, good job getting this out. How disappointing of Pam Bondi. I mean, really? You're going to go after some company because they won't print a poster? I mean, this thing has gone to the court, I think, 3 times. You go back to the Christian baker that says, when I produce a cake, it's art, it's one of a kind. Therefore, it's a production comes from me. I produce this. I cannot produce something that I don't, I can't take a message and put a message on one of my cakes that I don't want to put on there. It's a violation of my First Amendment right. It's compelled speech. And then they had a whole argument. It's really interesting. You read the case. Then you read the argument. It's like, is baking a cake unique right? Is it just like pound out this cake? Is it really something that you have to put a lot of heart and soul into? It would be and then the arguments were made if somebody came to you, assuming that the cake is art and one of a kind produced from this artist, it would be the same thing if the government came along and said, you must paint this, or you got a devout Jew who's also a writer and say, you must write this great article about how wonderful Hitler is. And the person's like, I'm not doing that. If the government came along and said, you must write it, you must paint it, you must produce it, the artist, the individual, would be able to say, no, I'm not, because that's compelled speech. You're protected from compelled speech. The government can't tell you what to say. It also can tell you not to say something. And that was the debate as to whether or not the baker is making art. And then the same thing went in with bouquets, right? They went after that woman there in Eastern Washington. She says, no, when I make a bouquet, it's something, it's art that I'm creating with my soul. And Jesus Christ is my savior, and it's part of my talents and my creativity comes from him. And that's why I can't produce a bouquet for a gay wedding. So, I mean, you know, she was shown the door. Thank you, Bob Ferguson. But man, this is a mess. What a mess.
Is this
Did anything
fog of
good
war
come out of this?
stuff, or is this...
I don't know what this is. Yeah. Yikes. Well, you know, I'll say this, that children don't come into the world with anything on them. And we teach them love. We teach them hate. We teach them respect, disrespect. We teach them. They learn these things. Hamas has got, I don't know how many schools, maybe 6 or 7 elementary schools named after terrorists. The children are taught to hate. They have little animals. One of them looked like a kind of a cheap Mickey Mouse who got beaten up and killed. And then this other stuffed animal, stupid cartoon thing is all about like killing Jews. You watch on video of these little kids over there. Hamas basically brainwashes them to hate all Jews. I'm going to grow up and be a terrorist, and I'm going to kill as many Jews as I can. And they're all cheering. That's learned. Those kids, you're molding those children in that way. And if and the same thing happens, you know, in homes with racists. You're taught to hate that person for the color of their skin. You know, it's generational, especially you go some places in the South, it's still there. You got some white dad telling his kids, yeah, we don't like those, we don't like them, we don't like that. That's all taught. Where else do you learn? You grow up like all of a sudden hating somebody for the color of their skin. That's taught, right? Black and white, right? So here we are. Here's a perfect example. This woman, she wins TikTok Mom of the Year here. She goes in. Oh, she's an alleged preschool teacher, but she's talking to her.
That's what we're saying. Yes.
But she's talking to her kids,
her
right?
Daughters, yes.
Okay. What do you think these kids learn? Listen to this. So the kids are standing there in the little playroom there, and Mom comes in and goes to make an announcement.
I have the best news ever.
Okay, I got the best news ever. Two little girls come forward. One of them appears to be 7 or...
Yeah, probably 9 and 7.
Yeah, something in there. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Best news ever. And they run up and they can't wait, right? So the mom's, I got the best news ever. And they're now going to try to guess what it is.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Donald Trump died? So, hoping a person died? One kid Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Who?
The vice president.
A vice president died, hoping the death of J.D. Vance. They're so excited. They're jumping up and down. They can't wait.
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
And they're laughing?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Her best friend. I wonder who her best friend is.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged.
It's learned. Teaching those kids. Then where are they going to grow up to be? Okay, here's Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan?
Hey, thanks, John. Wilcox Family Farm Eggs has the update. It is a very busy Wednesday afternoon. Here are some of the big ones. In Holler Lake, we've got this long-term collision on 1st Avenue Northeast and North 130th, blocking all your eastbound lanes and one westbound lane. There are huge backups. You'll want to totally avoid this area. Look for alternate routes. South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue is half that time in 20 minutes and all clear. It's once you get to Bellevue, South 405, you've got your typical afternoon thick backup from 520 down to the VMAC. North 405 heavy from South Center through the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue will take you 25 minutes. Seattle to Federal Ways at a 45-minute commute. It's packed from Interurban Avenue to State Route 516. Now, once you punch through this, South 5 jams up again in Federal Way at State Route 18 through Fife. Federal Way to Tacoma is an extra 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on 167, you just hit 1 hour. It is packed from 405 to 516. You'll actually clear out a bit there through Auburn, and then you're packed again from State Route 18 into Sumner. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package for healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s. Choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Locally fresh since 1909. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
It's Dave Ross, and if you have joint pain, this will interest you. Tonight at 6, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, so if you're in pain, join the free live stem cell webinar tonight at 6 to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Remember, your roof isn't just a roof. It's a shield guarding your loved ones and belongings. When replacement time rolls around, trust is key. That's why Guardian's crew isn't just skilled. They're licensed, vetted, and fully insured. And with our Guardian Guarantee, we promise your roof's done right the first time. Call now and get 1 year of maintenance free with the installation of a new roof, or visit us at guardianroofing.com. RV buyers, don't miss the Northwest Fall RV Show at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds, the last major RV event of the season, with acres of new and used RVs to explore. New 2026 floor plans, 2025 model liquidation with savings up to 50%. New trailers as low as $12,995. Special event financing, free parking and admission. September 25th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. NWFallRVShow.com. That's NWFallRVShow.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The newly formed West Coast Health Alliance issues its first vaccine recommendations ahead of winter. That alliance, which includes Washington, is pushing back against federal recommendations, as we hear from CBS medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
They are recommending that anyone who wants a COVID shot, child or adult, anyone who wants one should be able to have one.
Latest federal guidance scales back COVID shots for healthy children and adults. The Health Alliance says vaccines should be available to, quote, all who choose protection. The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the first time this year by 0.25 point. CBS's Kelly O'Grady on what it means for you.
What it means, though, for average Americans is it just got slightly cheaper to borrow money, and that's going to affect everything from your credit card interest rate. Not a lot, though, right, when some of those credit card interest rates are above 25%. But what it also may impact in the long run is mortgage rates. We have seen the 30-year fixed come down repeatedly over the last few weeks.
Some Starbucks employees are taking the company to court over its dress code. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi explains.
Workers in California, Illinois, and Colorado say Starbucks broke the law when it changed its dress code, but refused to reimburse employees who had to buy new clothes. Starbucks' new dress code went into effect in May. It requires all workers in North America to wear a solid black shirt with short or long sleeves under their green aprons. Starbucks gave each employee 2 free T-shirts that comply with the new guidelines. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
New study finds that when it comes to educating the next generation of Americans, some states are doing a better job than others.
Virginia is the best place to be a teacher, followed by Utah, Washington State, New York, and Illinois. Analyst Chip Lupo says WalletHub came up with the list by comparing key factors.
Compensation is the big thing.
That includes higher average salaries, as well as tenure protections and resources. States also earned credit for investing heavily per student and passing laws that improve school system quality. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
At 4:32 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. It is really busy out there. Let's start you with our updated Holler Lake. We've got this big collision on 1st Avenue Northeast and North 130th. It's blocking all your eastbound lanes and one westbound lane, and this is near Ingram High School. If you're familiar with the area, avoid this area if you can this afternoon, and you can. There are many alternate routes throughout this area. South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. Over in Bellevue, South 405, you're packed at 520 down to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes, and it is packed from Inner Urban Avenue all the way to 516. You're going to get a little break traffic until you hit State Route 18, and then it's packed again in through Fife, Federal Way to Tacoma, 20 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 1-hour drive today. It is really packed from 405 to 516, and again from State Route 18 into Sumner. Bellevue to Everett has gone up to an hour 10 minutes. It's packed between 520 and 527, and Seattle to Everett at 55. It's slow from the U District through Linwood. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A beautiful night right now. Sunny skies, same for tomorrow. Slightly cooler the next couple of days. Right now we're at 77 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning gets you plugged in and connected to our community. Important stories and breaking news happening right now from where you live. Plus, KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes gets you prepared before you head out the door. Get up, get ready, get going. With KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
All right, it's no back to school.
No.
Not a bad read there. Well said, well read. Thanks. Do you know Rye did that? He said, well said, well read to this news guy.
Oh, yeah.
Guy's been there for like 30 years. Like, you have a hair on your ass. What are you talking about? I was like, well said, well read. This guy's like, who's this kid? Okay, yeah, I never said that again. Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Bucky's Auto Service Centers, they've got 16 locations. Have been around for 55 years. It's the place to take the car of yours to Bucky's. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Welcome back to the Mariners, everybody. Here we go, Aaron. So excited! 10 games in a row.
Tonight's starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners.
Yeah!
Nice.
Tom Hutler on there. All right. So, Kansas City. We got one more game. Rye says it's starting in 11 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes now.
5 minutes, yes. I talked to Rye earlier. I said, okay, what can I say? What are some of your thoughts rather than getting you? Because, Dad, I don't want to get on the radio. I got a Mariners game to watch. He said, see what you think. Mm-hmm. He said, pitching is hot. Batting is hot. Often throughout the season, we would have really good pitching. Bats were dead. Then we'd have good bats, bad pitching. Now it is all firing.
Look at that timing. That was beautiful.
Back to school.
Look how happy Aaron is.
Yes. That was well said. I mean, they are playing to their full capability right now. I mean, post-trade deadline, this is what we thought they could be. Pretty much every hitter is hitting except Gino Suarez, but you feel like he's going to climb out of that slump. But, I mean, Julio's been a top 2-3 player in the big leagues post-All-Star break. We know what Cal Raleigh's doing. Up and down the lineup, you can point to each player and say that they are contributing. Randy Arozarena leading off provides you that pop at the beginning of the lineup. You got Cal, then Julio. After that, it's sort of a mishmash, which with guys like Gino Suarez, Josh Naylor, who we acquired at the deadline. Polanco's been super hot. I mean, up and down, it is just what you call a deep lineup. The pitcher on the other end doesn't really get a break up and down the lineup.
So the Kansas City's not the toughest team.
500 team, yeah.
All right. So we go to Houston next. We haven't seen those guys in a while. Houston, 6-4 the last 10, right? So we go to Houston, play them.
You hear the we? You hear the wheeze?
I know.
This is how I know John's on the bandwagon. He called them the M's the other night, and now he's saying we. Officially bandwagon.
I'm just doing that because Aaron, I feel the energy coming off of Aaron right now.
Buddy.
All right.
I love it.
All right. The Phillies have clinched.
Yes.
So they're all set.
As have the Brewers.
Yes. And we just need to keep this going. So often, I was looking at statistically speaking, when it comes to all sorts of teams that start winning like this, 10 games in a row, this momentum just really drives everybody. In the clubhouse is this feeling like we can't be beaten, right? Just roll. Because you could see, remember they got wiped out on the road? Was that back in June or July? It was awful.
It was like 2 weeks ago. Everybody was down in the dumps. But yes, it was back-to-back road trips were really rough.
Yes.
The good news is now we've won 3.
Not only were they rough, we were way ahead, and then they just came back and wiped us out in a couple of games.
You went to the Phillies, you got crushed by the Phillies.
Yes.
And I think, before that road trip started, a lot of people were saying that's going to be a tough road trip, and it was. I think they ended up like 2-7 on that road trip. So that wasn't totally surprising. It was just, I think it was a timing thing of the time of year. Like, you're going to the East Coast, it was hot, it was muggy at times. It was just a rough stretch of that time of year.
Yeah.
You can't really judge a team. This is why you play 162, right? Because even the best teams slump for a week or two, which the team has done. What the Mariners have done, though, throughout the year is every time they do slump, they come back firing. So every time you feel like they're counted out, that's when they tend to play their best baseball. And that's also why, these last 10, 11 games, you don't really know what's going to happen. It's very much week by week. They are playing their best baseball right now, though, which, in September is what you want to see. You want to see them hot, hopefully going into the postseason. And again, like Rye said, pitching has been hot. The bullpen has been stellar, which you need in the postseason. And the bats are cooking.
There's only one injury on the Houston. I forget who.
Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah. He might not be playing. Listen, you got to play all the games, but things can fall apart.
It can. It can flip on a dime. It can flip on. Why would you say that, though? But yes, it can flip on a dime. But you feel good because it's the law of averages in baseball.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
I know. I'm with you.
I know you are. On paper, as we've been saying for the past, since the deadline, this is the deepest lineup that the Mariners have had since 2001. They are playing like it. If they continue to play like this, law of averages say they will make the postseason.
What's the worst case scenario?
They don't make the postseason.
How's that all happen? So go down to Houston, get your butts kicked in Houston.
So the good news is,
no.
I'm going to stay positive. Even though there's really sad music going on, I'm going to stay positive, okay? Again, the Royals are a middling team.
Happy music.
Houston's going to be a really fun, energetic series. After that, baby, here we go. You come back home, and you have the worst team in baseball.
Yes.
You play the Rockies for 3, and then you play Joe's Dodgers. So you got to take care of business now against the Rockies, hold court against the Astros, dominate Colorado, and then hopefully you don't need to win like 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, right? You hope you kind of clinch by then.
Okay, so we don't need to look ahead, but just looking ahead a little bit, we probably have a couple more W's on our side.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
By the way, Raleigh's on deck.
How's Gabe Spire doing?
Here, let's let Jake.
Spire's been great.
I'm going to let Jacob do the play-by-play. Here we go. Watch. Here we go. Jacob, can you do play-by-play for us?
The Astros came back to win it. Final score was... I actually can't remember what the final score is. I think it was 8-7.
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay,
8-7.
And
don't help him. Don't help him.
Yeah, it's better if you don't help. It was a walk-off home run, devastating loss.
Was that from the postseason a couple years ago? Is that what that was?
We asked him to do play-by-play, and we didn't give him any music, and he had no idea what he was talking about.
Oh, wow. Okay, the music goes away. The score is still 2-3. The Astros are batting, and it's the guy, I think his name is Munoz. He's pitching again. Saw him yesterday, and he's done 6 of them. Just through 6. He's pitched 6 of them that he's done, and it's the 8th inning. That's what I know.
I love Jacob.
Yeah, makes Rick Riz look like he's a piker.
That's right.
All right, there we go.
Raleigh's up right now, by the way.
Oh, remember what happened last time?
I know.
Yeah.
0-2 count.
All right. Look how excited Aaron is.
Very exciting. That mustache he's rocking, too.
Good look.
Look at that dumper.
All right. Nope. Okay. Whatever. All right, let's go to watching TV. Good radio there, wasn't it? All right, here's Nate checking traffic. Nate,
yeah, Holler Lake up there in Northgate. We've got a collision on 1st Avenue Northeast at North 130th still. We're about an hour into this. It is blocking your eastbound lanes and one westbound lane, and this is near Ingram High School. If you're familiar with the area, you'll want to avoid the area because this appears to be a long-term incident. Linwood to Seattle has jumped to 50 minutes. Your South 5 is slow in Linwood now. You're bumper-to-bumper from Northgate into downtown. Southbound 99 is struggling with a lengthy backup from 45th all the way to the West Seattle Bridge, crossing the lake from Bellevue. 20 minutes on 520, which is good. It's a half hour on I-90. South 405 through Bellevue, thick at 520 to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton is inched up to a 35-minute commute. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 55 minutes. North 405 slows from South Center up to the Renton Landing. And Tacoma to Olympia is a 50-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Oh, boy. People are looking online. Oh, I see all these new places for longevity, and you could do this and get that injection or this injection. Maybe buy stuff over, on the internet. You could get this and you could inject that. For 25 years, Longevity Medical Clinic has been there. They were way ahead of everybody else. Now you go online, you see some 37-year-old doctor telling you about, we know the latest science. Are you kidding me? Longevity Medical Clinic 25 years ago said, we are following science, not following just with the normal, medical doctors that are trying to look at this stuff. They were constantly digging in deep and to find out how you can extend somebody's life. For 25 years, they are way ahead of everybody else. So if you are one of those people that's starting to think, hey, I'm going to look into this longevity stuff and see if it works and where should I go? Let me tell you something. There's only one place to go. These are the pioneers. I'm talking about the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic have been doing this for 25 years. So you're searching around, maybe you're going to buy something online and just do it on your own. That's going to be a waste of your time. If you want to extend your life and really have the latest science, work with the doctors like I do at LongevityMedicalClinic.com. Take the free health analysis at LongevityMedicalClinic.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join us tomorrow morning.
In my 7:35 commentary, you and every member of your family could be on the hook for $55,000 each for Sound Transit. Is it worth it?
Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
And hopefully we'll be talking about win number 11 in a row for the Mariners and get you ready for the storm.
5 to 9 on Seattle's morning news.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
When I needed some work done on my roof, there was only one company to call, Valentine Roofing. Hey, it's Jake Skorheim, and when I needed my roof fixed, Valentine Roofing went the extra mile to get there fast. They got my roof looking like new again. The scheduling was seamless and easy. Even though I couldn't be there, they still got the job done and sent me all the details with a link to pictures and video from the service. And let me tell you, if your roof or gutters are not fall ready, if those asphalt shingles are cracking and breaking down from years of moss, which is what happened on my roof, if your gutters are sagging, clogged, or pulling away, you should do what I did and call Valentine Roofing. Don't trust your home to anyone else. Those leaves, needles, and branches will fall, and the rain will come. But fortunately, Valentine makes knocking out that fall checklist stress-free. They'll even insulate your attic and clean the exterior of your home. And with zero-down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and pay over time. This fall, give your home the Valentine it deserves. Check them out online at valentineroof.com or call 206-ROOFING and get your free estimate today. That's 206-ROOFING.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, Novaks.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
There we go, the John Curley Show. 1-888-973-5476. Follow us at the on the Instagram at the John Curley Show.
Nice.
Got it.
Nailed it.
I can pronounce my last name right. All right, somebody's pooping all over barn weddings. Who's doing this?
ESPN's Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, Scott, you don't like barn weddings?
There's a trend of the moment. One of our coworkers was going to one and explained to me, it's a barn wedding. You get married in a barn. I asked, well, are these people, are they farmers? No, it's like a thing. It's like a venue and it's a barn. And I'm like, so we're going to do the pictures and we got big old hay bales and.
What do you sit at to eat?
Hay bales? I don't know.
Picnic table?
Nah, I think it's like a nicer, sort of more movie set, but we've got kind of rustic and then maybe you doll it up with some finery, ribbons, things of that nature.
It's a barn.
That's kind of where I'm at with it, but it's
straw on the floor.
It's apparently a thing. So I'm just saying to the youngsters out there, I think you really got to want to make sure that that's what you want your pictures to be. So like 20 years from now and you look back, your kids are going to go, what's with the barn? I feel like this is a trend that could have implications down the road where you'll look back and go, why'd we get married in a barn? What was that about? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea. The pictures are nice. Yeah, but
are they?
Grandma's on a hay bale.
Yeah. A very important question.
Okay.
What the the bathroom situation? Outhouses?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Porta potties? You painting those wood? You hanging those cool white lights from a porta potty? People are drinking their faces off at weddings.
Wrecked.
You need bathrooms.
Uncle's house.
Yeah.
Put yourself in some peepaw shoes right here. You're 20 years down the road. Man, we got married in a barn. Where'd people take a leak?
Or?
Hey, man, that's a tough one. You got to take a wedding dump, man. You're going to want to find some porcelain.
Okay. Well, don't they talk sports normally?
I think this is one of their podcasts.
Okay. First of all, let me just tell you something. People don't look at photos 20 years from now. most of the time when people get their albums. It just sits somewhere. Maybe the kid asked to see the photos. There, barns. I've seen barns where it's just like a big barn and nothing in it. Or people like to have nature included in a thing. So we've got the big barn, but then also, the inside looks like a hotel. You were in it. You spent a weekend there. You remember that?
Yes.
Remember being there?
The bathrooms are very nice.
Do you remember being there?
I did.
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's on hay bales. I mean, I think I've seen that some other places.
You don't bring in porta potties?
We have because we asked people to bring in porta potties. The fancy things, you got to bring those in. Because
the nice ones.
There's like 300 people. Our septic can handle it's $75,000 of extra septic. But then the next thing we got to get the Bobby pumper in there to pump all the stuff.
So that is a problem.
Yeah. So please use your fancy ones you got over there. But they don't want. They bring fancy ones and they feel like. You ever seen those?
With the little steps they go.
Yeah,
up
the steps and the air conditioning and everything else.
Okay.
And we asked them, please bring those. So they spend the money on those. But, I'm not going in there. I'll go into the place, go into the white barn, and go in there, and then Then like 2 days later, I'm like, how did we go through 15? Why didn't we go through any toilet paper? See, I do a thing called a toilet paper test. Ooh. So I count all the toilet paper things, and I write down like, okay, that's 1, 2, 3 on each side of in each roll. And when the people leave, I go and I look. I'm like, oh. So they spent the money on the ones they have to put in, didn't use those, but went through 10 rolls of toilet paper? Gotcha.
Was there a bidet? That would explain the toilet paper issue.
No, but thank you, Nate.
That's what I always look for, a bidet.
Okay. Here's traffic.
Westbound 90, just before the Mount Baker Tunnel. Got a new crash in the right lane. You're backed up to Bellevue Way. Bellevue to Seattle, just climbed 45 minutes on I-90. It's a half-hour commute on westbound 520. North 5 at Lake City Way, you got a collision block in your right center lane. You're backed up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 50. Linwood to Seattle is a 50-minute drive. South 5 slows in Linwood, but then it is really just barely moving from Northgate into downtown. Southbound 99 is struggling with a lengthy backup from 45th prior to the Aurora Bridge all the way to the West Seattle Bridge as we recover from an earlier collision down there. South 405 through Bellevue is thick from 520 to the VMAC. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 55-minute drive, and Seattle to Federal Way a 45-minute commute. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'm telling you, it's the best thing that Home Comfort Alliance has got right now. It's this Quilt ductless heat pump system. Let me explain how this works. So you're in one room, you want the temperature to be like 72 or something, and you're not in the other room, but maybe you want a little cooler in there. So you can set with the Quilt ductless heat pump system. You can set these temperatures however you'd like. And here's the other smart thing. Why are you heating the second floor when no one's up there? Why are you heating the guest room when no one's in there? Why are you heating parts of the house where no one is using it, right? And if you want the temperature to be controlled and customized, it's the Quilt ductless heat pump system, and Home Comfort Alliance has this. This is the next generation efficiency, the best. So not only do you get comfort and you get customized, you also are going to be able to save money. Your electric bill, which is unfortunately going up. You are saving money and you are having a more comfortable house. Now, the heating and cooling business is dominated by Home Comfort Alliance. Been doing this for almost 50 years. They are the flagship partner of Quilt, and they're going to make sure that this is the best for you. You want to find out more about it, you can call the Comfort people today when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric needs. There's only one place to call. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Hey, it's Shannon O'Kelly from IRG, and tonight at 6 o'clock, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk all about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar tonight at 6 o'clock to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five!
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked!
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Lori from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation with exciting news. We now offer the exclusive K-Guard gutter system. Say goodbye to clogged gutters and hello to less maintenance. Call today or visit us online at guardianroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. What you won't see on late night TV.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live.
ABC has pulled the Jimmy Kimmel Live show from the air indefinitely. It comes after Nexstar said it was pulling the show from its affiliate stations over comments made about the motives of the Utah man who was charged with shooting to death conservative activist Charlie Kirk 1 week ago.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
FCC Chairman Brendan Carr thanks Nexstar for, he says, doing the right thing. 3 police officers in Pennsylvania are killed and 2 are in critical condition after being shot while serving a warrant in North Caduras Township near the Pennsylvania-Maryland line.
They were ambushed by several rounds of rifle fire from a position of tactical superiority.
Pennsylvania State Police Colonel Christopher Parris saying of the shooter,
I can tell you that the actor is deceased.
Governor Josh Shapiro says, quote, we need to do better as a society. The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 0.25 percentage point and indicates more reductions are coming. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
It appears that officials think that there will be 2 more cuts before the end of the year. There's another meeting in October, and then the final one of 2025 is in December.
President Trump is in the UK, and so are protesters.
Donald Trump, you can't hide!
The president has attended a banquet with King Charles and CBS's Ed O'Keefe outside Windsor Castle on what's next.
Some meatier conversations on Thursday with the prime minister up at his country estate. The U.S.-UK trade agreement top of mind as both countries are eager to demonstrate to their own countries and to the world that agreement is now in place.
Not in agreement with changes at the CDC, the governors of 4 states, which recently formed the Western States Health Alliance and has issued its own immunization recommendations. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
They are recommending that anyone who wants a COVID shot, child or adult, anyone who wants one should be able to have one.
Soccer players use their heads to hit the ball, and a new study looks at what it could be doing to their brains. CBS's Matt Piper.
The study says that in amateur soccer players who head the ball, there were alterations within the folds of the brain. It says constant hitting of the head that way had more disruptions within a specific layer in the folds of the brain linked to poorer performance on thinking and memory tests. The study says it does not prove that soccer heading causes brain changes, but does show an association.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, an arrest made in Bellevue's first homicide of this year. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, it is busy out there. This report brought to you by ProScope. We already cleared that collision, though, westbound 90 at the Mount Baker Tunnel. There's some good news. You're backed up to Bellevue Way, though. Bellevue to Seattle on I-90 is going to take you 45 minutes. It's 25 minutes on westbound 520. North 5 and Lake City Way, still got this collision taking up your right center lane, and you're backed up bumper to bumper starting at 520. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 55 minutes. Bellevue to Everett is 1 hour. It's slow from mid-Bellevue to Canyon Park. Linwood to Seattle is at 50 minutes. We've got some crowding in Linwood, but then it's bumper to bumper from Northgate all the way into downtown. North 5 is solid from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. And Bellevue, South 405, thick at 520 to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you about 35 minutes. It's about an hour drive. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. And Seattle to Federal Way is a 45-minute commute. ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. A suspect in a Bellevue homicide has been arrested outside of the state. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Police allege 28-year-old Samuel Hitchcock killed a 54-year-old man in the Eastlake neighborhood more than a month ago. They have searched all of the city looking for Hitchcock, then received tips that he may have fled to Portland. This was Bellevue's first homicide of 2025. In Bellevue, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
We have disturbing new details today in the suspected arson and homicide inside an Issaquah apartment yesterday. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports the suspect's family says the woman was released from a mental health facility just last week.
According to the probable cause documents, firefighters say they found the woman laying on the playground. They say she claimed a voice told her to kill the man or he would kill her first. The man had severe injuries to his head and burns on his body. The suspect's sister tells KIRO 7 she wants answers about why and how staff at the mental health facility determined her sister was ready to leave.
The Pierce County Sheriff says he has been asked to turn over records of his contact with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Keith Swank says the state's Attorney General made that request. He admits to meeting with ICE in April in Tacoma.
I actually wanted to see what the facility was, meet the director there, and chit-chat, and just have a, meet and greet, because we might end up having to go down there to handle protests or something like that.
Swank tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red 770 AM he has not helped enforce federal immigration laws. That's against state law. No comment from AG Nick Brown. The Bear Gulch fire on the Olympic Peninsula is still growing. It is now burning on nearly 25 square miles, and it might be bigger than that.
We had an east wind event yesterday and into the evening, and that was the primary factor in driving fire behavior and growth last night.
Fire Information Officer Jared Lowe says the fire is only 9% contained. Fortunately, he says, no structures are in the area where the fire is still advancing. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clear skies tonight, more sunshine for tomorrow. It'll be a bit breezy for the weekend with some showers in store. Right now, 77 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Catch the ball.
No, I couldn't catch it. It was going too fast.
You could have caught it, and then he would have been out. That's the beauty of that game. There we go. That's how it worked. I was trying to coach up Sherry. It didn't work very well.
Oh, Sherry.
Where that was taken from.
talking about dodgeball. She didn't like dodgeball.
Oh, yeah, she didn't like it. I said, yeah, just you live and learn on that game.
But it works for baseball, too, I think.
Let's hear it again just one more time. Just maybe the Mariners need to hear it. Catch the ball.
No, I couldn't catch it. It was going too fast.
You could have caught it, and then he would have been out. That's the beauty of that game. That's true. That's good. Works. Thank you, Andrew. Diving in the news. Here we go. All right, you YouTubers. I see you out there. I know you guys are. One of these days. Oh, I'm so close.
Honey,
one more. Hopefully, these are not the notes I need.
Are you left-handed?
You just noticed? Oh, that hurts. That's right-handed. Almost got it on that one. Okay, let's see.
How do you write?
Not well. Thank you, Kathy Lambert. 2 decades on the King County Council. And I have been talking to her because when this story broke about the Department of Community and Human Resources and the news broke that, $1.5 billion just went flying out the door. I talked to Kathy. We talked about this. And here's the basic setup. This is a combination of my words and her words. That King County decides after George Floyd dies that and COVID kicks in. They decide that racism is a health crisis in King County. Okay? Then they decide, well, we need to do something about racism during COVID, so let's start funding this. So King County Council comes up with this idea, well, let's support all these different organizations and let's start funneling some money out to them. And then they start. And they're just sending it out. And out it goes. And there it goes. And it goes, I think there was like 100 and, I got the number here, look at this great big list. 156 different organizations and 2,000 in some programs. And they can't get the money out fast enough. By the way, the money, when I say the money, I mean your money, my money. So they are just, it's like a confetti cannon of cash coming out of King County because they're going to make sure they spend enough money to get rid of racism. And then the audit comes out. I'll tell you what was happening while the money was flying out the door and what, at the time, King County Council member Kathy Lambert was trying to tell them. But here's Como with the report on the audit.
First came the bombshell audit that initially revealed tens of millions of dollars wasted or misused in grant payments and potential fraud. Now comes what the head of that agency has to say about it. DCHS Director Kelly Ryder.
I take the findings of this audit very seriously. Financial stewardship is critical to DCHS achieving our outcomes and ensuring that we continue to deserve the public's trust as we do so.
Fire somebody. Fire somebody.
Up until now, the exact dollars in question were unknown. Ryder says it's much less than tens of millions.
We are looking into less than $1 million in additional payments that were questioned.
Let me say this. Yeah, okay. Because we have to get to wasted, right? If somebody says, hey, you give me $1,000 and I'll dig 10 holes for $1,000. You give the person the $1,000, you go back, they've dug 2 holes. You said, hey, I paid you $1,000 for 10 holes. Why only 2? Well, then you've got a problem, right? Because I gave you the money and you expected this metrics. This is the outcome. But they say, oh, well, only this amount was wasted. No, you have to look at what were the results? What were the metrics? What did this organization of all the different, organizations going to try to stamp out racism in King County. What were your metrics? We gave you the money. What did you tell us you were going to do with the money? And did you do it with the money? It's not about waste, although you can see in this thing the $47,000 spent. I mean, some of this, I'll get back to her sound in a second. But here's some organizations where when the auditors went in there and they found out that they were paying people. One person received $15,000. These were known as stipends. One person, I don't know who it is, receives $15,000 between July 2024 and March 2025. Another person receives $6,000 and $5,000 respectively. This is just individuals going to kids or adults that were part of some program. Let's just give them money. Just hand them all out. One organization reportedly spending $96,000 on parent and student stipends. Huh? Between 2023 and 2024. The general ledger suggests that 3 people received between $8,000 and $10,000. 3 people? Just give them money for what? Why'd you give them the money? So it's not about how much, we're tracking it down. Did they do anything with it?
The audit called that financial oversight failure and said DCHS did not consistently apply internal controls such as checking invoices or ensuring contract compliance.
No, guess what they did? There was a person who worked for the government for the program that was supposed to be auditing and going in and investigating. Well, this person walks in there and realizes, hey, that's my relative working for this nonprofit. Well, somebody with King County reported that's a violation of ethics codes. You need to report that you probably shouldn't be not auditing, but investigating if your family member's working for that nonprofit. And when the supervisor was told about it, they said, never mind, don't worry about it.
As its grant funding nearly doubled from approximately $922 million to over $1.8 billion. A sample of likely improper payments, according to that audit, $106,000 paid to unapproved subcontractors, more than $37,000.
Oh, yeah, one of them. So the one guy's working for this one organization. He then takes the money, your money, by the way. He takes your money, and then he gives it to a subcontractor. And what do you know? He owns the subcontracting business. So he's able to slide the money out of one place and put it somewhere else. And when they go back in there and they're like, hey, show us where the paperwork is. Where are the receipts on all this sort of stuff? Why have you spent $45,000 on travel in a month? They're like, oh, yeah, we don't have that. And what did King County do? Nothing. In fact, they had a program that they put in place, which was, we will give you this money, and then we're going to provide financial consultants for you. This is a very smart move. If we're going to hand somebody $300,000 or $500,000, and they're a little nonprofit, we're going to have a consultant go in there and say, now listen, here's how you manage it, here's how you set it up, here's how the structures need to be done. And of all the organizations, a tiny percent met with and worked with the consultants. And the consultants mostly worked with a bunch of other stuff, not about financial. Only 6% of the work that was done by consultants was actually done with financial stuff. The rest was like, set up websites and this other stuff.
1,000 outside contract terms, more than 12,000 outside the scope of work, more than 7,000 cash withdrawals claimed as rent, and 2,000 altered in invoices.
The question is, as a county,
altered invoices. You know what that means? The invoice was for 1,000. Somebody went ahead and scratched that out and put 10,000. Stuff like that. And again, when they said, where's the receipt? Where's the money? Where's it going? Well, I don't know. Oh, okay. Here's the way it's supposed to work. They're supposed to be able to investigate each one of these things. They should be investigating about 33%. They picked them randomly. They didn't do 33%. The first couple of years, I think they might have been in the single digits, and then they went all the way up to like 18% were actually being investigated where the money was going. So it was 2020, they started sending the checks out. 2021, Kathy Lambert notices, hey, we should really check and see if there's metrics in place. Are we following this money and making sure it's being well spent? Well, nobody wanted to say anything, because if you said, is the money being well spent? Oh, you're a racist. You can't say that. So everybody was quiet because nobody wanted to say anything, as they just kept pouring more and more money out into it. Till finally it was $1.5 billion of just absolutely the fraud, the waste, the abuse. And by the way, somebody needs to go to jail, because this is fraud. And they've got a very clear definition of what it is. You can easily read it and you say, wow, looks like somebody intentionally took the money and did something with it they weren't supposed to do. It's not like sloppy bookkeeping. Yes, there was tons of sloppy bookkeeping, and nobody was asked to be held accountable for it. And when the department went in there and looked around, they're like, yeah, well, whatever. And here's the amazing thing. Who's been fired? If this was a private company and $1.5 billion goes out and you can't show the metrics that you were actually able to do something with it, they would wipe out the entire, you'd be fired. Get your box, get out the door. Will anybody, because the audit's done now and the auditor's like, yeah, you should improve on this and improve on that.
But correct me if I'm wrong, the audit is only a small percentage of
they
the
audited
program.
only a small percentage of them. That's all they did. They grabbed a small little chunk of them and look at it. But
the next step would be maybe to audit all the programs.
The other thing is, they should be auditing these things every year. Every single department should audit. Here, I looked it up the other day. I think the federal government spends about $2 billion on these groups of people that keep track of weights and measures. They go into the gas station, stop everything, make sure you're getting exactly what they're getting. They make sure that the scale is really weighing the right amount. Can't have too many oranges, weighing this or weighing that. They're out there making sure. And oh my God, if your scale is off, oh, you got the fear of God in you. They will shut you down. They will fine you because the government doesn't want you ripping off the public. The government comes marching in there and they've got their little devices to make sure that that scale is exactly as it says it is. So the government is making sure that the private sector is not ripping off the consumer. But who's following and who cares about the $1.5 billion? Let me tell you. To rip off the public, you ever heard the term a baker's dozen? The reason the baker used to throw an extra roll in there is because if, for some reason, the public were to go in and find out that the baker had his thumb on the scale and wasn't giving you what he was supposed to be giving you, they would run in, they'd grab the baker, often tear his clothes off, and they would put him in this like metal chair, and they would march him around the town, and people would throw feces, like an Antifa person, or rotten eggs or whatever, certainly not Wilcox, at the baker, publicly humiliating the baker, might burn the bakery down. Because if you were intentionally deceiving the customer, this was the way it used to work, was like, we're coming in there. So the baker was like, I better just play it safe. So he would pop another roll in there. And that's where the term baker's dozen came from. Will anything happen from this? Who knows? Total amount of people losing tens of thousands of dollars. And when they ask them, where are your metrics? Like, what can you show us? How many kids have you gotten to do this or do that, to this or that? How many, you're going to reduce crime and all this other stuff. Just crap. Just absolute. They have no evidence that they did, or maybe prove it somehow. But again, I love the last part of the audit was like, yeah, there's definitely some improvements to be made. They should audit the thing every single year. You randomly go in, and you need to also have the people that are working there to say to the people that have received the money, this is a lot of money, a big responsibility. We want to help you. And they were supposed to help them. But they didn't take the help because they don't want anybody looking. Hey, look at this. We got $350,000. Let's just give this person $10,000. Let's give this. Let's spend $45,000 on travel. And they had other. They love putting other. If you ever work with an accountant and they're like, yeah, don't put other down. Why? Because that's the thing that makes the IRS go, what do you mean by other? There were so many other marks in there where the money, what would we spend it on? Oh, we spent $32,000 on other. What is other? What does that mean? Where are the receipts for it? Nope. But the Department of Community and Human Resources needs to strengthen their financial stewardship. Kathy said this.
This is the tip of the iceberg. This is just in a few of the contracts. We're having this go on all through the county. So when people start really understanding what was being hidden, they will begin to see that there are a lot of things that are happening that shouldn't be happening. I say, look at all of them. All the requirements in these contracts say that they are to be audited annually, and 33% of them are supposed to have a deep audit every year. And every one of them is supposed to send in a financial account every year, financial statement. And over half of them have not ever sent that in.
Yeah. And they would consult. They go in there and consult with them. So from 2022 to 2024, of the 22,000 hours of consulting, only 6% of that time was spent talking to the people about finances. Just ripping them off. And it's like, here's the big thing. My dad used to say to me, do people do what you inspect or what you expect? Do people do what you inspect or what you expect? People do what you inspect in most cases. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's some good news. For example, we found one payment of $37,500 for reimbursement on travel expenses that could be incurred after the contract ended. In the case, DCHS was able to recover the funds. So put that over in the good pile. $37,500 for travel. Where were you traveling? And here are the different programs: family intervention and restorative services, liberation and healing from systemic racism. There's a whole bunch there. Restorative community pathways, stopping the school to prison pipeline. There it all is.
The school to prison pipeline.
You don't know that? Oh, yeah, they said that's a big thing. Here we go.
I don't believe there isn't a need for new legislation. I think that's covering the backsides of the council members. There are already existing laws. The contracts already say that you're supposed to send these things in every year. If they had stayed onto the job that the council should have been doing every single month, this would not have happened. There's fraud here. And I do believe that the prosecutor and the sheriff should penalize people who were involved in this fraud. It is very difficult to say, I approved all of these invoices, but they didn't have any receipts. That is what they call wanton disregard, and that is a criminal offense.
So the county resources for 557 contracted services providers and 1,290 programs. Its role safeguarding the diverse and essential human services on which our regional residents rely. So it's systemic racism, so let's just send $1 billion out, and then let's not question it, because if we question it, we don't question it. So, all right. Prediction. Here it all is right here. This is the audit I read. Nobody will be arrested. No one will lose their job. This is just classic, crappy government. And you want to know why? You want to know why people are moving? You want to know why people want to get out of King County? Because this is just death by 1,000 cuts. This is death by 1.5 billion cuts. And people, if their heart's in the right place and they really believe these programs are going to work, and the county can send in a consultant to say, hey, let us help you with it so you can understand where you make this money work for you and make you accountable for what you planned on doing with this money. Yeah. People don't do what you expect, only what you inspect. All right, let's go to Nate. Checking traffic.
Here I am. Seattle Sports has the update. It is so busy out there. Let's start with Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. It's solid from 520 through Linwood. That's a 16-mile backup. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. Pretty solid from mid-Bellevue now all the way to Alderwood. And then you'll join the North 5 backup through Linwood. Everett to Marysville is already clearing out, though, taking just 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle, hour 15. That's a 15-minute delay. You've got 3 backups ahead of you. South Everett near the Everett Mall. Another backup in Linwood. And then you're really thick from Northgate to I-90. Northbound I-5, bumper to bumper from Albro Place into downtown Seattle. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 25 minutes on 520. You're heavy across the lake to I-5. 45 minutes on I-90. You're jam-packed from Bellevue Way all the way to Mid-Span. Out in Issaquah, we've got a new crash eastbound 90. It's just past 150th, blocking 3 left lanes, including the HOV lane. You're backed up to 405. And in Auburn, a new crash westbound 18 at Auburn Black Diamond Road. It's blocking your left lane, and you're sitting in about a 2.5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
You remember that rush over the summer to get the enhanced ID, or you weren't going to be able to fly out of SeaTac Airport? How many people in the state of Washington actually went out and got those IDs? This is Chris Sullivan. I've finally run down the numbers. You might be surprised how many people decided to join in. I'll bring you the numbers tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike 3 called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners' final homestand of the regular season starts with 3 straight value games against the Rockies, September 23rd to 25th. Then don't miss a star-studded showdown against Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th to 28th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
One thing you can always count on is a change in the weather. Time to protect your home now with the help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call Integrity at 206-202-ROOF or visit online at integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. September is a magical month for whale watching, according to the team at Puget Sound Express. This is the time of year when many whale watching cruises see a combination of Bigg's killer whales and humpback whales on the same trip. Last week, PSE Tours spotted 10 different orca families, and humpbacks are busy feeding in September and October before resuming their Pacific Ocean migrations. It's a terrific time to get on the water and see marine wildlife. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of beautiful Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. As the cold and flu season fast approach, Washington and other western states have rolled out their own vaccine recommendations. CBS medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder explains.
What we are seeing now is this West Coast Health Alliance of Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. And they have decided to focus on medical professional societies in deciding what their recommendations are going to be.
Those western states recommend anyone who wants a COVID shot, including children, should be able to get one. The latest federal guidance scales back COVID shots for healthy kids and adults. The Federal Reserve cuts its key interest rates by 0.25 point. Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
I think we were right to wait
and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved.
The cut reduces the benchmark rates to between 4 and 4.25%. More from CBS's Jo Ling Kent.
Welcome news for people who are looking to borrow money, whether it's for a mortgage, a car loan, your credit card debt, and on down the line. We also did get an indication that there may be 2 more interest rate cuts this year and then 1 coming in 2026.
New numbers show Washington's job market is cooling off. The state lost 13,600 jobs in August. The Employment Security Department says the state's unemployment rate held steady last month at 4.5%. New analysis finds Washington is the 3rd best state in the nation to be a teacher.
Walletub compared 50 states and the District of Columbia on several key metrics.
Compensation is the big thing.
Analyst Chip Lupo says Washington saw a more than 75% change in teacher salaries in the past 10 years, and adjusted for inflation, the state has the 2nd highest average annual salary at nearly $80,000. Washington has the 4th highest average starting salary at more than $50,000, and tenure for Washington teachers starts at 3 years.
At 5:33 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, it is a busy one out there. Let's start with our latest collision. It's heading into Auburn, westbound 18, just before Auburn Black Diamond Road, blocking your left lane. You're now in a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup almost into Covington. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway down a bit to 50 minutes, but it's still pretty solid down the entire stretch. Seattle to Federal Way is at a half hour. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. Bellevue to Everett still at 1 hour. Everett to Seattle, hour 15 minutes. We've got 3 backups here. South Everett near the Everett Mall, another backup through Linwood, and then it's just bumper to bumper from Northgate into downtown. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, we're struggling. It's about a half hour now on 520. You're heavy from 84th over to I-5. 45 minutes on I-90. It's jam-packed from Bellevue Way all the way out past Mid-Span. And this collision still ongoing. Issaquah, eastbound 90. It's just past 150th, blocking 3 left lanes, including the HOV lane, and you're backed up bumper to Bellevue Way. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather forecast is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Back to normal temperatures. Dry weather through Friday. Some rainy and breezy weather will increase on Saturday night into Sunday before tapering off. Right now, 78 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, the horns sound peppy, huh? Look at Teeny dancing. Teeny, stop dancing. Grab a hold of that wheel. We got a wheel to spin. Names of all the players are on the wheels. Wilcox Plenty Farmer Eggs. That's red and green, yellow, blue. Oh, we added blue in there. I see it, Teeny. I see it. Lands on... Nate. Wow.
Oh, right on.
Right on.
You've heard of a Hawaiian pizza.
Certainly have. Who hasn't?
How about a Hawaiian scrambled egg?
Ooh.
Let's talk about it. Got some mozzarella cheese. Got some Canadian bacon.
Oh.
And make it legit, you got to throw some Spam in there.
Ooh, wait, kind of lost people on that one.
Well, it's Hawaiian.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Got to have the green peppers.
Wow.
Scallions.
Okay, you're going to get an egg in there at some point since Wilcox is kind of responsible for this.
Yeah. But first you heat all this up, cook it up, and then at the last minute, throw the Wilcox Family Farms eggs in there, scramble it all up.
There we go.
And you'll be saying aloha before you know it.
Yum.
Mahalo. See that, Aaron? That's the way you do it. That's a lot of energy.
Is that how you do it?
You don't go into a long, measure, get out a teaspoon of salt.
When do I ever say that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have energy, passion, but I'm talking about Nate's crazy thing. I'm not asking you to be Nate.
I got to be me.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I can't be like Nate.
No, wait.
Got to be true to yourself.
All right, there's your Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. Don't forget a leather-bound book sent to your house every day.
Apple.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Okay. All right, this is a really interesting study. They got a bunch of people together, and they said, you're going to debate either a human being or you're going to be debating AI. And the people are like, okay, fine. Well, the AI... using GPT-4. they knew, the AI knew who they were debating. And this is the crazy part of it. So they were going to debate like universal basic income. Well, they knew ahead of time they were going to be debating a 55-year-old white male Republican. So what the chat people did, the AI did, it made every one of its arguments kind of serpentine around economic growth, reduction in federal government spending for safety net, and basically just came right in there and kind of knew which one of the buttons it needed to push for that guy. And then when it was debating a black female who was in her mid-50s, who was a Democrat, AI then laid out basic income arguments saying, well, it creates a safety net, more economic security. So it just changed each one of its sort of parameters as it had this discussion with the experimented, the people that were part of it, the people that are being, asked to look at it. Then when they talked to them later on, they said, who did you feel won the debate? They were far more likely, the participants in the experiment, to say the AI did rather than the human. They didn't want to give the human being. And then when the human being actually on that one you're debating, they never wanted to give credit to the human being. I don't mind losing to a computer. I just don't want to lose to someone else. There is a psychological effect when you go to argue or debate with somebody. And here it is. Since people have confirmation bias, which is basically set into feelings, if you go to debate somebody and you come right out of the block and you say, well, actually 84% of, and let's say it's a legitimate percentage, you're arguing with 84% of this, or 62,000 people do this. As soon as you start to whack them with facts, immediately the blood goes from the prefrontal cortex back into the amygdala, back into the fight or flight. And now they're responding to your facts with feelings, and a whole debate falls apart because now they're yelling at you or they're crying or whatever it is, and every time you hit them with another fact, they go to you, oh, you're just a blah, 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 or you're this or that. They're not engaging in it. So if you do want to debate somebody, they always say it's best to sort of, rather than being opposed to them, like facing them head on, you need to sort of, metaphorically speaking, be beside them as you're both trying to find the solution to the problem in this debate, as opposed to, just screaming facts back and forth. Because the person who comes out with the facts first and the other person doesn't have the facts and they're just relying on feelings, then you got trouble.
A perfect example of that was when you had a conversation with Haley, the 24-year-old, about the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yeah.
And it wasn't set up to be a debate, but instead of coming right at her and being really aggressive, or you just you said, okay, well, is it possible that you meant this, or you're feeling this way about it?
Right.
And it kind of disarmed her.
Did it? She's still stuck with her theories on the whole thing.
Yeah,
now.
but it's...
All right. Do I have time to debate our gal? I'm debating smart gal or sexy gal? The one that's always trying to, straddle you.
Well, that's the one you requested, so we're going to go with that.
All right. What's her name again?
Ari.
All right. Okay.
Ara. Oh. But
Ara.
Something.
Yeah. Ara?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanted to kind of debate a little topic with you, if you don't mind.
Shoot.
I'm going to take the position that Nickelback is one of the best bands of all time.
You're serious? Like, How You Remind Me is a top 10 song ever?
Yeah, I like to turn on Nickelback, put on some candles, and break out, maybe a nice Chianti.
That's actually not the worst idea I've ever heard. Chianti pairs well with self-loathing. But seriously, Chad Kroeger growling in the background while you're trying to get romantic? Ballsy.
It's not like you to say sorry. I was waiting on a different story. This time I'm mistaken.
Well, it doesn't, I'm not saying, we're out there dancing. They have thousands and thousands of fans. They have number one hits, and they're often sort of pushed aside as not being a great band. But you got to say something good about Rockstar.
Fair. Rockstar is objectively a banger. That riff, infectious. And yeah, they're hated by people who think irony is a personality. But like, their songs are everywhere. Every dude's been serenaded by Photograph at karaoke. You've got a point.
Okay, there.
Cut my hair and change my name.
See? I'm not totally unreasonable.
Yeah.
I just think if I'm in the mood, I'd rather have you singing it. To me. Later.
Oh, okay. You want me to sing like Photograph to you?
Yeah. Like, looked at this photo, and I remembered why I'm here with you. Don't make it weird. Just sing.
Okay. Can you help me with the lyrics?
Sure.
Okay.
Just hit me with the first line.
Look at this photograph.
And just like that, I knew we'd be all right. Keep going.
I don't think that's the lyrics. I don't know where you're getting that from. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell's that on Joey's head?
And this is where I get a little turned on. Your voice is gravelly in the best way. Keep going. Next line.
So I went to school. Time I had better things to do. Well, the record says it broken twice. Must have had it done in half a dozen times.
All right, I gotta go. You know what? But you put on something sexy, make a pair of sweatpants and some overalls, and I'll see you later on. Okay?
Overalls? You're weird. But sure, I'll be here.
Okay. All right, there she goes. Okay, see how I came around and I told her, listen, I got in, I talked about like sexy stuff, and then I brought up Nickelback, and then she's like, oh, maybe.
You stood beside her,
yes,
metaphorically.
I did. Yes, don't get too close to her. And she's teeming with disease, you can tell. Heard it, move on. You look at me like that. I know if I shock you, I've really said something bad.
Yeah, that's too far.
Okay, here's Nate over there drunk and driving. Nathan?
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union's got the update in Auburn. We've got this collision westbound 18 just prior to Auburn Black Diamond Road in your left lane. You're sitting in a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup almost into Covington. Our other big collision in Issaquah, eastbound 90, just past 150th. It's now been moved over to the HOV lane, opening up a couple lanes that will help this big backup starting way back at Bellevue Way. Right now, Seattle to Issaquah is going to take you a half hour. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, going westbound, 35 minutes on 520. You're heavy now, 92nd over to Montlake, a half hour on I-90, and it's packed from Bellevue Way to the lake. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Bellevue to Everett still at 1 hour. Everett to Seattle is down to 1 hour, but we've still got 3 backups. South Everett, Linwood, and then really thick from Northgate to I-90. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Nate Connors.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with Snap Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. When I needed some work done on my roof, there was only one company to call, Valentine Roofing. And let me tell you, if your roof or gutters are not fall ready, you need Valentine too. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. Whether it's your roof, gutters, or siding, even attic insulation to exterior cleaning, Valentine Roofing has been helping KIRO listeners for the past 15 years. And with zero down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and pay over time. So do what I did. Call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. To celebrate, Bathfitter's offering payments as low as $125 a month. Ursula Royteen here. I chose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, and every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This special offer won't last.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Hey, it's Brock Ewart here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Time for this truncated version from Hudson.
Truncated.
Truncated, Hudson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Didn't know what truncated means, but he knew exactly what to do. Showbiz kid. Yep. That's showbiz kid. All right, we'll get the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Stumpy in Olympia says, I don't know why it's so difficult to pronounce Primula. Just break it down phonetically. Pramila Jayapal.
Pramila Jayapal.
That'll do it. Christopher in Mont Lake Terrace says, thanks for the laughs. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
360 says, why hasn't Nate been giving us extreme weather warnings for this year's heat wave we're experiencing? 2 straight days above 80. Sure glad I have AC.
Give me the amygdala, Curly. You tickle your amygdala. Thank you.
Bill from Kent says, if you put $100 on the Mariners to win the World Series today, you might win as much as $3,000.
How about that one? Ivan in Edmond says, all this blather is putting a jinx on the Mariners.
Benny the tugboat expert says, music is way too subjective to look at in terms of what is best. It's an exercise in futility.
Thank you, Benny, the music and now tugboat expert. RB in the 360 says, I was there for Adam Gorilla. I remember that. He was there. That was early on with Tom and myself.
I wish we had that.
Poor Aaron, yeah.
Jeff in Long Branch says, why does Nate look like he's one lean away from falling into the street?
I don't know. Oh, he's right up against the window because that's how he should check traffic. He has to look out the window.
Oh, yeah, how else do you expect?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Traffic, yeah. Let's see. Justin and Puyallup says, I actually have an open six-pack of an open six-pack of Billy beer?
Unopened.
And now it is time.
Now that's not on me.
That is, you're right. That was a typo.
Okay,
that's on Jesse.
Hoo-ha. It wears me out reading. All right.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Thank you, Teeny.
8 pages of letters, and we got to half of one. Letter of the day comes to us from Jimmy in Marysville, who's listening to your story about Twiggy.
Yes.
He said, this show today is why I listen to Curly. An actual heartfelt story about your day yesterday, putting yourself out there and showing us some vulnerability. You share your opinions without making others feel less than. Keep up the good work.
Nice.
I miss you when you're not here.
Thank you, Jimmy in Marysville. Thank you.
And so much love for Twigs.
Oh, yeah. She's gone from a $35 pound dog to $6,000. But who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's all
She's asleep right now. And
she's home?
She's home. She's there at the apartment. And Lily looks kind of happy.
Lots of snugs tonight.
Oh, lots of love for
Sleeping in the bed tonight?
I've got to work on that.
Come on.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Let's go to Nate, who's about to fall out the window, checking traffic for you. Nathan.
Seattle Sports in Auburn, westbound 18, just before Auburn Black Diamond Road. We've got this collision about a half hour into this, blocking the left lane. You are now backed up into Covington, almost a 4-mile bumper-to-bumper backup here. Issaquah, eastbound 90, just past 150th. The collision blocks your HOV lane. You're backed up to Bellevue Way. It's starting to slowly thin out, but Seattle to Issaquah is still about 35 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 35 minutes on 520. It's a half hour on I-90. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 55. Everett to Seattle, we've gone back up to an hour and 10 minutes because South 5, right in front of the Everett Park and Ride, we've got a stalled vehicle blocking 2 left lanes, though it looks like they're getting ready to clear this. Got another backup in Linwood, and then, of course, we're thick from Northgate to I-90. That one's always there. In Holler Lake, we just cleared that long-term collision, 1st Avenue Northeast and North 130th. It was blocking 3 out of 4 lanes, but all lanes are back open. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Has it been hot in your house this summer? Maybe worried about the cold coming in this fall and into the winter? Might be because your insulation's just not up to snuff. That was my problem, Mike Salk here, and that's why I called Crawl Pros. They came out, they did a corner-to-corner inspection of my crawl space and attic, and they fixed that problem once and for all. If your home has any damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, you're bleeding money every month to heat and cool your home, but you don't have to. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%, but you got to act now. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of this year, including the federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and properly insulate your home before the cooler fall weather comes in. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News